hide your scars like your heart. And we never had much luck in love, throwing stones in the dark.
Through the left side, base hit! Downing is in to score! And DVC walk it off!
Chest high step, he looks down the middle of the field, he's gonna throw the goal route, has a man in the field, intercepted! Intercepted, taking it down the far sideline, he steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and that's how you cap the game up!
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand, Jasmine got it! 3 threes for number 23.
Who finds Edwards, Edwards needs to get the shot up, pulls up a deep three, able to knock it down!
The counterattack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes out. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus! Lemus! And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California! And welcome, faithful followers of the Green and White, to coverage of women's soccer on DVC Vikings Live Radio. I'm your host and commentator, Joe Hickey, ready to bring you today's pre-conference finale as the Hawks of Las Positas College welcome your DVC Vikings to Livermore. DVC, they're looking to pick themselves up off the canvas after an encouraging run of games came to a startling end on Tuesday. A second half of grit and eventual creativity in San Bruno 2 weeks back on the 13th had given way to a week of hard-fought draws against tough opposition in Pleasant Hill, and the club seemed headed in the right direction, leading into a challenging fixture on Tuesday in Saratoga. Well, while a fourth-minute wonder strike from West Valley right back Catherine Meck was certainly a punch in the face, it was the third goal of the day on the final kick of the first half that really saw the Vikings wobble in confidence and temperament. The second half was a procession of goals for the hosts, interrupted only by Suhani Singh's 10th tally of the season to avoid the Green and White taking what would have been just their second goose egg of the year. They'll need to get that straightened out quickly because they face today a Las Positas side that's likely feeling pretty good about themselves for the first time all year. Before Tuesday, their only win of 2024 had come courtesy of a Yuba College forfeit, and they'd scored just once in 5 matches on the field. That, a goal back on opening day from Kendall Cornwell, the lone returning entrenched starter among Coach Andy Cumbo's field players from last year's playoff qualifying team. On Tuesday, they took the lead over Feather River on Cornwell's second of the year about a half hour in, and then they doubled their advantage 10 minutes from time through Kaylee Mata to make their record now 2-4-1. The Hawks will be looking to build on their Tuesday result, the Vikings to rebuild from theirs. Whose construction project gets off the ground today? We'll find out in about 90 minutes' time. But lineups and kickoff of LPC DVC are right around the corner on DVC Vikings Live Radio.
They can't say we didn't try. They lock the doors and close the blinds. Maybe we'll sleep better tonight. We found our place to hide. Say we're gonna have a good time. Everybody, come move your body. Everyone, come on, let's have some fun. We're having a party, everyone is so hearty, and we love how it's grooving, and we feel it so highly. Everyone got the sensey, and we tune into jam music, roots rock. We're so irate, all the way from foreign. We got the nights of sensation, all the way from foreign. Still forward in this revolution, 'cause everybody, come move your body. Everyone, come on, let's have some fun. Jolly Philly, 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 I'm skunk. Dum 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 rubber dub me. Jolly Philly, 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 I'm skunk. Yeah yo, yeah yo yo yo. Roots rock reggae, it make you feel lively. So irate, so irate, all the way from foreign. We come to nice up sensation, all the way from foreign. Still forward in this revolution. Everybody, come move your body.
Welcome back to Livermore, folks. We've got the DVC lineup. LPC is a bit of a guess. They've just splayed out on the field, but we're having a bit of a tough time spotting every last one of them. But that would be the most likely lineup based on recent work. For the Vikings, Hannah Walden in goal again today. In the absence of Denise Correa, there is one change to the side. Julia Ognian gets her first start in green and white. She, of course, slots into the midfield in the right midfielder spot. And we are underway here from Livermore, brought into action by your center referee, Russell Dryden. New feature here on DVC Vikings Live Radio. We're just going to provide you here the full roster of each team as we work out who is who out there. So, of course, any evidence of incorrect stuff for LPC immediately wiped from existence. The only tricky bit is there is a 16 out there who I don't have on my roster. DVC, the first team on the attack as they go up the right side. Suhani Singh battling with a defender out there. Looks to be the 17, Alicia Pena-Webb. Vikings in the road white over black shorts and white socks. They will be attacking right to left here in the first half across your YouTube progress bar, and they've earned the first corner kick. It might be waiting for an official signal. No, it's a throw in from deep in enemy territory. Sofia Lopez Real with the ball in her hand. She will throw that to Suhani Singh. Ticks that over the head of one LPC defender, Allison Mitchell. partially cleared about 30 yards from goal. Now a little bit more as Maila Hicks looks to close that up. Nice work, however, by Daisy De La Torre to get to that ball, and now she kicks into Turbo up the left side. Callista Rubel in pursuit. She and Hicks, the center back pairing. Here's a ball squared up into the middle for the arrival of the 9, Alyssa Houlihan, as a sliding challenge from Sierra Rosemont that plays that out on the far sideline. Throw in for the Hawks. Allison Mitchell coming up from what appears to be the right back position to install herself as an aerial threat. This first corner kick of the day's action actually will come from the left side. That's going to meet the foot of the number 16, a mystery to all of us at the moment. The ball's cleared away and recovered by Kendall Cornwell, scorer of 2 of LPC's 3 goals this season. Her ball forward, headed by DVC and up towards Suhani Singh, under the feet of Ella DeChoco. But Carol Esquivias able to get there first before the arrival of Suzanne Hassan. Battled for at the near sideline, out for a throw-in, just a little bit across the midfield stripe, and it'll be Cristabel Rodas to take it. Rosemont and Rubel, your center back pairing. Rodas and Lopez Real on the left side. There's a ball in to the left flank. Suhani Singh looked to have the defender turned, but is unable to get to her own knock-on. Las Positas in an all-black home strip. A few white markings down the right side, and Las Positas and the number in, I would say cardinal red, but they are the Hawks. They might resent that. Ball out for a Viking throw in their defensive third. Up top appears to be Daisy De La Torre and the 9, Alyssa Houlihan. Or perhaps De La Torre as an isolated striker, as it is Castillo, Houlihan, and the mysterious number 16, maybe forming a 3-woman midfield line in front of that. Cornwell, Giovanna Coble, and Allison Mitchell, the 3 across the back at the moment. Perhaps joined by Kylie Hallbeck. Now she seems to be a defensive midfielder. Over the shoulder of Ashley Annis, who does seem to be the left back, the number 8. As DVC effect the throw in up the right sideline, reflected away. Another throw to come here for Sofia Lopez Real. For the Vikings, Sofia, as we said, the right back at the moment as she puts the ball forward towards Suhani Singh. Got a touch to it in battle with Coble, trying to work it free for Trujillo, the other member of the attacking line. Behind that, of course, DeChoco, Maila Hicks, rather. I can't be the one doing that. Matt Folsom and I were making sure that didn't happen to him the other day. Ball worked ahead, and here's a ball forward and a breakaway for Las Positas for a moment, but out to clear it from the edge of her 18 is Hannah Walden. That goes all the way to the center circle. Suhani Singh trying to slide one into the right flank for Trujillo. Maybe a little bit hopeful. DVC's defense deals with it. Ball forward to DeChoco just behind the center circle. Now out to the left side for Rodas. Cristabel. Couple step arounds as she tries to work her way through Kylie Hallbeck. Ball forward picked off by Hassan. Now Houlihan trying to get to it as well. It'll kick all the way back to the DVC back line. Sierra Rosemont. DeChoco and Hicks, the center of your midfield right now. Left side, Carol Esquivias with the ball on her foot. Right side, the first-time starter, Julia Ognian. Ball forward for Singh. Deflected away by Laspo, straight back to the Viking back line. As we celebrate the ability to once again say Viking rather than DVC or green and white every time, as we are no longer facing the other Vikings. Today it's Hawks. Las Positas, interestingly enough, also facing off with a bird of prey in their last match. As the ball forward takes a deflection from the LPC defense, almost favored Suhani Singh, but well monitored by the center back Hassan. And claimed by Mia Lemus, the goalkeeper in all red. Ball on the foot right now of Hassan. Up ahead into the right flank for Houlihan. Looks to work her way around Rosemont. Looks like that took a touch from the lean mean 13 in green. It will be the second corner kick of today's game. Both have gone the way of the team in black. Cornwell coming forward for Las Positas. Just 2 players staying back to monitor Suhani Singh. Cornwell at the top right corner of the box. Got somebody at the right side of the half moon. One right on the goal line and another at the edge of the 6. One at the penalty dot and one far off to the left. Houlihan comes running back this way. I don't know if that's for indications from Andy Gumbo or perhaps an issue with jewelry still in place. So LPC playing for the moment with just 10 women. This ball in towards the near post. That's going to go straight into the side netting without taking a touch. And a goal kick for the Vikings. A hot day here, second consecutive day, battling the heat for the green and white. Goal kick taken a little bit early for the liking of Russell Dryden. He's joined by Miles Hecht, the AR on our sideline, the player bench sideline, running around just in front of us. Across the way, a familiar face to DVC Vikings fans, Sonny Teo. Ball brought forward, Suhani Singh in battle with Anis. Not able to claim. Mitchell changes the point of attack to the right side at the midfield stripe for Cornwell. Ball over the top, and that is going to find a offside player, or perhaps a handball. Either way, it's going to go down as a free kick for the Vikings. Rubel takes it quickly out of the defense. DeChoco rolling this one in reverse under a little bit of pressure from Hallbeck. Up ahead for Esquivias by Rodas. Looks to send Casey Trujillo down the left wing. Casey takes on a defender, dribbles inside her to the right. Still in that battle with the 26 Coble, and does finally lose out on it, but the ball comes free to Esquivias. Hicks trying to go right back to Carroll. Knocked away by Coble, and she either lost, or rather Cornwell, she either lost that ball out of play herself or banked it off her teammate, Suzanne Hassan, for a Viking throw-in. We'll know when we see where Rodas takes this from. And Gabo Tamaya enters the action in place of Houlihan as she adjusts a few issues with accessories that you can't have in on the playing field. Throw in taken up the left sideline. Las Positas had it for a moment. They try to bring it forward. First touch for Tamayo. Ball now in possession of Sierra Rosemont, who brings it to a halt at the center stripe, and advantage had been played. That'll go down as the first foul of today's game. Just behind the center stripe, Sierra Rosemont will take it. Zone. Knocked down by an LPC defender, but Maila Hicks is back on it. Back to Rodas. Sierra Rosemont, for the first time that we've seen it at least today, wearing the captain's armband for the Vikings. Alongside Casey Trujillo, Lily Underwood, we now know is going to be done for the season due to an ACL injury. Surgery is in the offing at some point in the near future. As LPC look to attack, but an aimless ball towards the left wing, claimed by Sofia Lopez Real. So Rosemont with the armband. Ball right now for DVC on the right side. Mr. Choco well wide right. Now trying to put in a diagonal ball in the direction of Trujillo. Cleared from in front of her by Coble. Knocked down by Maila Hicks after a touch from an LPC midfielder. Dropped back to Sofia. She'll run in retro. Leaves that for Hicks, nearly picked off by an active number 10, Joanna Castillo, out at that sideline. Ball played forward off of her, out for a Viking throw. 10 minutes gone here in Livermore, no score as yet between the Hawks of Las Positas and the Vikings of DVC. We thank you for joining us today on DVC Vikings Live Radio. Last time for a little bit. In fact, we know for certain, obviously, that there are no games between now and the 8th of October. But on top of that, that game appears is going to be a double act on the ARC live video stream as LPC come forward, and it's Castillo on the run, sliding challenge by Rosemont. That's going to play the ball out for a goal kick. Managed to get that to bank again off the attacking player. And no harm, no foul. Not even a corner kick. A goal kick to be taken by Callista Rubel in a moment. That October 8th game likely to be a double act. Mark Lowe and myself on the American River College Beavers video stream. And then the game live streams are going to be possible from Modesto Junior College. If so, that'll be the valiant return of DVC Vikings Live Radio. If not, you'll be waiting until we have that first home game again against San Joaquin Delta on the 15th. Ella DeChoco coming out of a crowd at midfield, locked in a tangle with the number 4, Kylie Hallbeck. Looked like maybe could have considered a foul there, but the ball's going to go out of play for a throw-in at the far sideline for the Hawks. Ella in that situation likely giving as good as she was getting. And Russell Dryden elects to say play on. Ball back into the LPC defense. Cornwell's going to pop that over the top of an on-rushing Esquivias. Battling for it now is Hassan, and Rodas joins the fray, and Christabel takes it away. Clapping for Esquivias to refeed her, but Cuddle is going to look to go forward to Suhani Singh. Got a little bit too much on that one as she looked to go forward for Trujillo. Probably looking to get a little more instep, a little less lace, and curl that one into Casey's path. Instead, it goes straight out the sideline. Throw in LPC from their defensive third on their right side. Today, also the final game of non-conference play for the Las Positas Hawks. It's actually the third year in a row that these two teams have met in their final one. That ball's over the top. Gabota Maya comes up with it, squares one up in front of goal for the number 2, who's unable to claim, and it's going to be Castillo trying to clean that up at the back line. It'll be a goal kick. No touch for Daisy De La Torre. Sierra Rosemont getting back to her feet. Came away the worse as she and Tamaya that ball. She's back to her feet and jogging back to her position. Russell Dryden checking on her. And we'll have a goal kick here as the ball was squared up for Daisy De La Torre, but good work by Callista Rubel to put her off just enough to have that ball slip under her foot. Castillo was in pursuit but unable to retrieve. Been telling you little bits about the upcoming calendar. That is the beginning of Big 8 play for the Green and White after an off week next week. They'll have ARC and Modesto on the road, and then Delta at home and CRC on the road. Ball reclaimed from the goal kick, comes to Tamaya. She fires, banked away by Walden. She's got a save on the first shot on goal. Still not done, finally cleared here by Rosemont and coming out around our end. Hits my tent, but I don't have enough slack on my cord to get to that. First shot on frame. It was a leg stop by Hannah Walden. She makes sure that the whole body is intact as she patrols the box to our right side in the yellow jersey, black shorts, and socks. Throw in, takes one big hop over the head of Castillo. Out comes Walden, and she will claim it. Starting to say before the earlier play forward that this is actually the third year running that LPC and DVC have met up for each other's conference finale, 22, 23, and now 24. LPC with a victory by a 2-0 margin here in 2023, and by a 2-1 margin in Pleasant Hill, or I should say a 2-0 margin in 2022. At any rate, ball being brought in here by LPC from the left side, knocked down for a moment by the 16. The mysterious player. A sliding attempt by the 16 to dispossess Ella DeChoco, doesn't come off, puts it up the left sideline. Cornwell will watch that go out for another LPC throw. And the fact that she started, and we have one player here who I did not have circled who has started every match so far. I'm going to guess that 16 is Kaylee Mata, who had the second goal, I should say, assist on the first goal of the season, and the scorer of the second goal to put things away on Tuesday against Feather River. We're going to go with that until told otherwise. Ball on the foot of Cristabel Rodas, forward toward the box looking for Singh. 2 LPC defenders there, cleared away, only as far as Sierra. Front of the center circle. Drop back to Sofia. Currently Tamaya and De La Torre, your front line for LPC. Ball worked forward for Singh, taken off of her foot by a defender. Up ahead for De La Torre, who looks to get off to a run off the left shoulder of Callista Rubel. Forced all the way to the sideline. Suhani Singh tucking in coverage. And Callista Rubel does well to force the error. DeChoco, forward for Singh in the center circle. Gets to that before the arrival of the 22, Hassan. Running laterally across the midfield stripe, leaves it for Rodas. Up ahead now for Carol. Esquivias trying to get off to a dribble. Fakes to the left, then to the right to keep some space in front of Cornwell. Centrally for DeChoco, who sprays it out to an unmarked Sofia Lopez Real. She accelerates to the right side, tries to put one into the channel for Julia Ognian. Nothing doing. Clearance to the center circle for Rosemont. Touches that on a diagonal. Now gets that to Singh. Tries to drop that into space for Trujillo. Cleared away. De La Torre in the center circle is going to launch this one deep. Way too much on that for Tamaya to have much chance to get to it. Hannah Walden out to claim. Got my trusty Bay FC water bottle here on a 97-degree day to make sure the voice doesn't burst into flames. Felt bad about it the other day. It felt like maybe it was a bad luck charm at Saratoga, as the colors of Bay FC are alarmingly close to those of West Valley College. No concern about that today. DVC in possession. Here's a ball forward looking for Singh. Coble will clean that up, but her clearance is just to the feet of Trujillo. She takes rip from distance, one hop, and into the arms of Mia Lemus. First shot on goal for the green and white. 1-1 the shot count, 1-1 the shot on goal count for both sides. LPC have the day's only foul and both corner kicks. Mila Ninkovic will be into the game before too long, as a long ball from LPC is into the hands of Hannah Walden. She'll drop kick this to the near sideline, one big hop. Tamaya is going to get there with the back heel, trying to feed Hassan. Esquivias will anticipate. That, one of the things that West Valley did so well on Tuesday against DVC. Stepping to those sorts of balls. Trujillo up ahead, touched by the defender. That looks to be enough to keep Singh from getting onto it. Rather, Ognian. Mia Lemus will clean it up out the far sideline, and we'll have our first substitutions of the day's action. I do apologize for what seems to be some issues here on the live stream in terms of the internet service. Hopefully just causing skips in the video and not quite so much in the audio, but we'll make do as we go and see if we can find a better solution. Cell phone has worked like a dream from a few campuses and has been woefully insufficient from a few others. Ball forward for Suhani Singh near Trujillo. It's going to find Julia Ognian. She fires, and it's off the side netting. Mia Lemus into a dive to watch that one carefully across the line. It'll be a goal kick. Julia, of course, one of the two 20-year-old twins out of Northgate, courtesy of Argentina. The ball's out, last touched by Cristabel Rodas for an LPC throw. Got a check here, I think, from an earlier collision that occurred between De La Torre and one of the DVC defenders to make sure that everybody's in good working order. Mata, throw in to the body of an LPC player, pops loose for Rodas. Ball forward, under a lot of pressure to Choco, trying to step through is Hicks. She's walled off by the arrival of Castillo. Ball claimed by LPC, forward looking for Mata, cleared by Rosemont, knocked back towards the attacking area by the 13 Kira Korsak, who was the substitute who entered for LPC. For the Vikings, Mila Ninkovic into the action. Ball claimed in the three-quarter zone here by Hallbeck. Forward for Mata, comes free to Hassan. She looks to take a rip from distance. That will fly well wide and evens up the shot count at 2-2. DVC looking to work out of their defense here as we approach the halfway point of this first period. Ball up the left side looking for Singh. Cleared off of her by Giovanna Coble. Throw in to come for the Hawks, and they will use that as an opportunity to make a substitution. Amaris Andrade into the game. She'll take off Daisy De La Torre and immediately install herself as a forward alongside the other sub, Kira Korsak. Two of them and Castillo arguably making up a three-woman front line. Otherwise, Mata, Hallbeck are the right side of the midfield, alongside, actually, rather Hassan seems to be the right side of the midfield. Mata about to take the throw in, which is going to let Cornwell come forward. This ball takes one big hop up to the head of Andrade. Calista Rubel authoritatively gets her head in there. Knocks the ball away, and it's Carol Esquivias who will take it from LPC. Forward for Singh, who's got some space. Tries to work that to Trujillo, who puts that into the left wing. Foot race between Singh and the woman at the back line, Allison Mitchell. She'll drop this back to Lemus. Clears this away towards Cornwell. She gets one touch to it. Out for a Viking throw just across the midfield stripe. That one comes to us, and it'll be Cristabel Rodas to put it into play. Aggressive diagonal run being made by DeChoco as Esquivias tries to settle the throw and cannot keep it in play. Cornwell and Coble, the right side of the Las Positas defense, alongside Annis as the left back and the left center back, Allison Mitchell. Ball right now on the foot of Amaris Andrade, trying to tiptoe the sideline with Mata, who has nutmegged Sierra Rosemont. Sliding challenge by Rubel. Clean as a whistle, according to Russell Dryden. DVC looked to come away with it. Ball forward, touched into space by Hicks. Dusts one midfielder who made the aggressive attempt to cut her off. Now the diagonal, that's going to split two defenders to find Julia. Ognian cuts it onto her left at the edge of the 18. Cuts it around another defender, fires, but that's going to be blocked by the LPC defender. Esquivias trying to close it up, but it comes free to Andrade near the center stripe. Rosemont leans a little into the 27 in black, and that'll be the first foul today whistled on DVC. Save for the pair of corner kicks to none for Las Positas. It is otherwise a completely even score sheet. 2 shots aside, 1 shot on goal, 1 foul, as we go to a hydration break. And with that hydration break, we'll take a moment to show you what's been going on around the Big 8 Conference. And today, everybody besides Sacramento City and American River is in action. Sac City will finish off their conference schedule on Saturday when they host Cuesta. As the referees are joining us here at this table to get a little hydration themselves. They're running as much as anybody else out there as that team comes in. Mr. Dryden, Mr. Hecht, and Mr. Teo. But again, Sac City will be hosting Cuesta College on Saturday. They are presently actually playing against Folsom Lake this afternoon, so a busy weekend for Cuesta. American River idle today and this weekend. They'll finish off against West Valley on Tuesday, coming off of their 3rd victory of the season. They hosted Chabot, a game that we were able to tune into on the drive home from Saratoga. Very close finish to that one. A few decent shouts for Chabot College. We see their Cosumnes River fell to a 1-0 defeat at Cañada on Friday of last week. They're back in action today after being idle against Evergreen Valley. We talked about the 3-0 victory for City College of San Francisco over San Joaquin Delta on Tuesday. They are on the road in Aptos against Cabrillo today. Sierra picked up their 3rd draw of the season at Skyline on Monday. They will be looking to get headed back in the win direction. They have one of 2 undefeated teams in the Big 8 right now, albeit with nearly half of their results having been of the stalemate variety. They're at Salinas at Hartnell. Hartnell, meanwhile, played Santa Rosa to their first draw of the season on Tuesday. Santa Rosa on the road up in Oroville at Butte, which I cannot imagine is a fun road trip today. Knowing how hot it is in Livermore, I would imagine probably tack another 10 degrees onto that, and you've roughly got an approximation of Oroville. They might do 2 hydration breaks up there. Lastly, Modesto hosting Solano after a 2-1 victory over Cañada on Tuesday, raised their record to 9-1. Just a handful of games next week. We mentioned AR facing off against West Valley next Tuesday. Sierra will visit City College of San Francisco, and then on Friday, Merced will host Folsom Lake, the defending state champions and current top team record-wise and winning percentage-wise in the Big 8. And that will call a close to non-conference play when it comes to pass. October 8th, first match day of the Big 8. DVC will be having their bye in match day 9, so they play Tuesday and Friday, 4 consecutive weeks. Most of the time it'll be Tuesday at home, Friday on the road, but in week 1 it's both of them on the road in week 4. It'll be both of them at home. We're back underway as Diana Ruiz strides to her position to eventually be subbed into the game. The free kick taken immediately to the body of Carol Esquivias, and DVC come away with it. Casey Trujillo at the midfield stripe. Drops it back to Hicks. Hicks trying to work it forward for DeChoco, but picked off by Andrade. Works a 1-2 with the substitute Corsac. Corsac inside the center circle, in the beak of the LPC Hawk. Now brings it forward, one touch from Hassan to the feet of Houlihan, who's back into the game. She'll float this to the left side, one touch into space. Walden comes out and she'll clear that from her feet. Doesn't matter anyway, flag from Miles Hecht is up. And the play would have come to an end due to offside. The run from Corsac just a touch early, but good looking build-up play there from Las Positas, and it was Joanna Castillo, the 10, who put that ball in. The moment that 3-woman attacking line remains is now Houlihan and Castillo on either side of Corsac. Hassan, Andrade, and Hallbeck along with Annis at the moment looking like your midfield, although Annis I think will peel back and be the left back in a 4-woman back line. Ball out for a Viking throw-in now in their defensive third. That'll give time for a substitution. Julia Ognian comes off. Diana Ruiz into the game. That will raise one interesting question here, as Ruiz, Hicks, and DeChoco, all players who typically play in one of the 2 center spots in the diamond. Esquivias really the only one that's used to being out wide. It does appear that it'll be Ruiz playing the right side with DeChoco and Hicks, the top and bottom of that diamond. Hicks the one who claims the throw-in. Ahead to Singh, one touch back, and the first touch now for Diana Ruiz. Brings her run toward the center circle. Forward for Trujillo, who is tracking back. Trujillo now gets turned. Up ahead looking for Singh. Doesn't get a solid touch to it, but the reflection from LPC straight to Ruiz. Back now to Hicks. Ahead looking for DeChoco, but wrong-footed her. And that's going to go all the way out on the left sideline for a throw. Substitution time for Mr. Cumbo. It'll be Tina Canas, freshman midfielder, making her 5th appearance of the season. And given everybody else that we've seen so far, I'm just about convinced that we have the identity of that missing player right. Throw-in is going to come to Maila Hicks. Hicks onto the foot of Trujillo, trying to feed Diana Ruiz, cutting in from the right side. Ball cleared. Ninkovic in pursuit. Denies the ball after one touch with the head to Corsac. Rubel and Ninkovic exchange the ball. Forward now, picked off by Annis. Ball worked through the defensive line as we fix up our roster here on DVC Vikings Live with the proper apparent number for Kaylee Mata. LPC up ahead to the right flank. Brought down by Houlihan. Good work by Rosemont to close her off. Ball tracking towards the back line. Rosemont into a slide. And she does avoid the corner kick. I think it actually hit the flag and bounced over the sideline. So a throw in from very deep in Vikings territory on the right side. Final quarter of an hour, of course, add on about 2 minutes for the earlier hydration break. Ball popped up by Cornwell. That's falling in the 18. One big hop toward the half moon. Headed forward by the 22 Hassan. And now decisively cleared by DeChoco. Ashley Annis will track back, though, and retrieve it. Plays it out toward the left sideline. She'll get to it before it goes out of play. Long cross, and that's right to the hands of Hannah Walden. Rolled out to Ninkovic on the right side. She'll loft this over the right side of the midfield. Hit by Mitchell. Hicks trying to keep it in play. It'll be cleared away from her feet by Hallbeck. Throw in DVC from the midfield stripe. I remember having talks with Jeremy Bettig about this, former DVC assistant coach, and they used to talk a lot about the idea of a productive turnover. one where you launch that ball into the back line, but you apply pressure with your forwards, and as a result, when they knock it out of play, you've now picked up about 50 yards of space. Maybe you can make that next throw in really quick and keep them at 6s and 7s. Ball right now on the foot of number 9, Suhani Singh, taken off of her by Coble. Last touched by the 26 in black. Throw in DVC. As LPC's men's team gathering in front of the center table in the training area. They'll be playing later on today. Much appreciation to the hospitality of James Giacomazzi, athletic director and basketball coach, as the ball's put into the LPC defensive line. DVC trying to keep them right there, and the pressure of Hicks has freed it for Esquivias. Ball forward by Trujillo. Singh takes a shot, comes right back to her after it banks off of Coble. Ball rolling towards the back line. Singh plays that off of a defender and has earned DVC their first corner kick. We'll jot that down as DVC's third shot of the day, as well as Suhani Singh took a snapshot after Hicks's pressure liberated the ball. Esquivias put it forward for Trujillo near the half moon, and Trujillo opened her hips and with one touch tried to feed Singh, who took that snapshot. Corner kick coming from the left. It'll be Cottle to put it in. Low liner. That one is in the back. No, it's saved off the line. My goodness gracious. Spectacular work there. I was blocked by Miles Hecht to be able to see exactly who put that one on goal. My position actually has a big body between me and the frame. But it is DVC's first shot on goal. It'll be a throw-in to come here in a moment. Mia Lemus at full stretch down and to her left. Throw-in blocked by Andrade, who manages to dribble through Ruiz. Touch from Ninkovic, and she will maintain it for DVC. Hitting the brakes hard is Hicks under pressure from the 13 Corsac. The Vikings 13 Sierra Rosemont will absorb contact from Corsac in the center circle. She ends up on the deck. Second LPC foul. And a throw in to come in a moment. Some decent looking jerseys on the sideline here of the LPC men's team. I see an old school Roberto Baggio. I see a Kai Havertz. See a Boca Juniors with no player on it. Ball played in. That is knocked down with the hands of Ella DeChoco. Originally was going up for the header. It hit off of an LPC player, popped up, and she practically swatted it into the ground with her hands that were up at shoulder height. No doubt about that. Glad the referee saw it so it didn't become a moment of controversy. Ball on the foot right now of the 11 Mitchell, I believe. A correction, the 4 Hallback. There's a ball forward, very Route 1 path here for Houlihan. She'll take a rip, and that one's saved by Hannah Walden. Looked like that one came off of her knees. Third LPC shot, second on goal. Second shot for Walden. Or second save, rather, for Walden. She's had 2 rather challenging ones. Lemus has had a pretty easy one and an absolutely desperate fingertip effort to deny DVC off that corner kick about 2 minutes ago. Ball's on the foot of Lemus right now. She'll try to move it to the right side of her defense. Cornwell up ahead for the 19 Canas. Ball dropped back. Now popped up towards the attackers. Houlihan pops it up with her head. Rosemont on it. She'll clear, but it's off of the outstretched arm of Houlihan. And a free kick to come here for the green and white in just a moment. Vikings have not been particularly busy with substitutions so far today. Only changes from the starting lineup are Diana Ruiz now at right wing in place of Julia Ognian, and Mila Ninkovic at right back in place of Sofia Lopez Real. Otherwise, Rodas, Rubel, and Rosemont, the rest of your defense. DeChoco, Hicks, and Esquivias, the rest of your midfield. Trujillo and Singh up top, as this ball is in the direction of Trujillo off the boot of Callista Rubel. Picked up by Las Positas. Houlihan trying to feed Canas. Out comes Rubel. She'll clear that one over the sideline for a throw. It'll be an LPC substitution as Houlihan goes back to retrieve the ball, or maybe not. The player re-entering will be Daisy De La Torre. It appears she will take off the 22, Hassan. And Corsac looks to go into the left back position, a bit of a tactical rearrangement for Andy Cumbo's Hawks. 2-4-1 coming into action today after picking up their first win on the field in 2024 3 days ago. DVC at 500 for the first time this season after starting the year 3-0. They are on a 5-match winless run, looking to get right before the Big 8 begins, as they work hard on a hot day here in Livermore. Throw in from Cornwell, headed forward by Houlihan, cleared out towards us. Trying to get that under the table and around referee's gear to Kendall Cornwell. We have managed to do so successfully. I think I managed to avoid hurting my back. Throw in immediately played out and on top of the DVC player bench tent by Rodas. Throw in from about 7 or 8 yards further forward to come here. Cornwell will give it up to Coble. Cornwell, Mitchell, and Annis remain the defense. Coble over the right side, over the top of Houlihan, and Rubel will change the point of attack all the way over to the right side as she clears it. That one's picked up by Corsac. Luckily shows too much of it to Hicks. Long looping ball brought down by LPC, now on the foot of Annis. Annis coming forward, runs into pressure. Ruiz pushing her back. Drops it off on the left side. Here's a ball in looking for Houlihan. Popped up by Rubel, headed forward by Houlihan, and on one hop, that Walden. Vikings look to attack now from their defensive zone. Esquivias finds Suhani Singh with a bit of space in the center circle. Unfortunately, Hallbeck able to close her up before she can get the ball off her foot. Ball forward in the direction of De La Torre. Good work by Walden to come out and clear that off the foot of the 2 in black. It's a good looking ball out of the back of the midfield. I think Amaris Andrade, in fact, the 27, the one who put that one in. Right up into that channel. We've got, I believe, an illegal throw-in whistled or signaled by Miles Hecht. That'll give the Vikings a throw, and it'll give DVC a chance to make a substitution. Julia Ognian back in. She'll take off Ella De Choco, which I would imagine will mean... would mean Ruiz into the attacking mid-roll. At the moment, however, Ognian and Esquivias are both on the left side of DVC's midfield. The ball's battled for here at the near sideline. Last touch by Canas, throw in DVC. Throw in, held by Hicks. Now Esquivias with Canas on her back. The double team comes. Cottle stays on it and finds Julia leaking out. Julia wanted to get that off her foot to find Casey Trujillo up the left side. Couldn't do so. Good work by Cornwell to keep her in. Forward for Ognian. That one's got a ton of English on it as she flicks it in the direction of Trujillo. Andrade, Esquivias battling for it. It'll be Andrade that comes away. Maila Hicks chasing her down. Drops that back to Houlihan. Houlihan, center of the field. Now trying to find the attacker coming forward. It's De La Torre in the box. Forced wide by the arrival of Ninkovic. And the ball's played out, last touched by Black. Goal kick DVC. Miki Miyazaki about to enter the fray for her first action. Final 5 minutes. Plus whatever's added back on for the drinks break. It'll be Diana Ruiz to come out. Oh, correction, Carol Esquivias, the one who takes the penny. Ruiz stays in. I think they were giving Diana some directions about where she's going to play now with Miyazaki back out there. So Miyazaki looks to set up on the left, Ognian on the right, as the ball is rattling around in the LPC midfield. Now pops out toward the far sideline where Ninkovic will escort it out for a Viking throw. It's Ruiz and Hicks, the front and back of the diamond. Ognian on the right, Miyazaki on the left. Throw in goes the way of the Vikings as it again rattles out after a touch from Ognian and one perhaps by Corsac. Throw in taken to the body of Diana Ruiz. This time it is out off white and it'll be a throw in for the Hawks. Call comes from the sideline. Drop. Confirmation from Tina Canas that indeed the 16 listed on my roster from the online is as 20 is indeed Kaylee Mata. So we've got that worked out now for sure. Throw in comes to LPC. Running in retro is Ashley Annis, who looks to find Cornwell. Closing up to her is Miyazaki. Cornwell steps inside her. Hicks up to challenge as well. The two of them get on the double team. Cornwell comes through for a moment. Ball cleared off the foot of Sierra Rosemont. One big hop. Miyazaki uses her body well there to keep Cornwell from drifting back to claim that ball. Cleared away. Suhani Singh trying to protect. Hicks will prevent the LPC double team from winning that challenge. Ball dropped back to Maila. Forced into retro with Daisy De La Torre applying pressure, and it looks like Daisy's going to get to it. De La Torre at the edge of the 18 on the left side banks that off. No touch rather from Maila Hicks out the back for a goal kick. So I have high hopes that I continue to see the percentage of dropped frames on OBS while dropping, which would indicate to me that whatever went on for a couple of minutes there and messed with our signal maybe is just about done. Ball cleared forward here in the direction, the goal kick taken by Rubel in the direction of the DVC attacking line. Forward here for Trujillo. Look out, opportunity knocking. Singh getting off to a run here with Trujillo about 40 yards from goal. She's going to be forced back. Good work by Kaylee Mata, the 16. Forward here for Miyazaki. Has Cornwell on her back. Ball's out for a LPC throw. Las Positas take it. It's to the feet of Ashley Annis at the back of the center circle. Her ball forward, cut off by Ninkovic, but can't drag it by the arrival of Annis. Here's a ball forward in the direction of De La Torre. She is going to beat Walden to it and deposit it into the back of the net, but the flag is up. Miles Hecht brings that to a close. De La Torre just a hair quick on that run. It was Kylie Hallbeck, rather not Annis, who put that ball forward. And De La Torre was just a hair quick. Flag up, the whistle, just as the ball was on its way across the goal line. And DVC spared the blushes here in minute number 44. Two of the Vikings' 3 losses this season have been characterized by an absolute backbreaker of a goal just before halftime. Against Skyline, it was 2 of them. To go from 1-0 to 3-0 and on your third string goalkeeper by that point. On Tuesday, it was a 3-0 goal as well, coming after they had managed to mostly weather the storm from a very good team, but that one really seemed to change the whole tenor of the match as LPC attacking up the right side. Houlihan near the corner flag, keeps the ball in play, gets around one DVC defender, now a second, has it on her left, slides that into a teammate, and might well have considered being a bit more selfish in that moment. I don't know how she feels about her left hand. Ball cleared, now fed back in by Cornwell. Rubel will clear that. It's going to come to the feet of Trujillo. Casey looks to get turned. Cornwell on her. Casey, acres of space in the center. Has Mata coming up the wing. Tries to slide this just diagonal of the center back Coble, but she reaches out a foot and cuts it off. Denies Singh a free run at Mia Lemus. Hicks. Looks like she might have absorbed a shin on shin at midfield. And that is whistled. Third foul whistled against LPC to 1 by the Vikings. 2-1 the corner kick count in favor of the Hawks. 2-2 shots on goal, both goalkeepers with a pair of saves. Vikings have very slightly outshot the Hawks 4-3 over the course of our opening 44.5 minutes. The signal from Miles Hecht as we got 1 minute left to go here added back on. As the ball's put over the right side and will go over the line for a Viking throw in their defensive third as LPC looked to find Alyssa Houlihan one more time. DVC will author a pair of substitutions for the final 45 seconds. Lopez Real and DeChoco back in. Ninkovic and Hicks come out. Throw in to come as our center official Russell Dryden checks his watch. Very nearly here at the close of this opening 45. Throw in, blocked, and comes back to Callista Rubel. No pressure coming from LPC. Callista will knock this one deep, headed forward by Trujillo, but a little bit too much toward the sideline. Cornwell comes away with it. Forward looking for Annis. Good pressure from Ruiz. Ball taken away. And that is going to do it here for first half action. We hit the halftime break. DVC and LPC scoreless. We gave you the stat reset a moment ago. 4-3 DVC lead on shots, 2-1 LPC lead on corners, 2 shots on goal apiece, 2 saves each for Lemus and Walden, 3-1 the foul count in quote-unquote favor of the Hawks. And of course, we're going to take the next 15 minutes, as we always do, to check in with the Beat of Diablo, a weekly radio show on KVHS 90.5, spotlighting local music, complete with the occasional world premiere and lots of information on where to see these bands live in and around Concord, Rock City. We are going to give Dave Hughes control of the airways for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll see you back here for another 45. 0-0 as we head to the break.
This is Dave Hughes, and you're listening to select cuts from my weekly show, The Beat of Diablo, here on DVC Vikings Live Halftime. If you want to hear more local music, tune in this Sunday and every Sunday at 7 p.m. to Concord's iconic student-built 90.5 KVHS, Concord Rock City.
Cause it's downright always in love. Why did it take me so long to find out? I wonder if it was underneath. I wonder if it was underneath. Why did it take me so long to find out? Why did it take me so long to find out? You're running fast with your head and nothing with your house now. And if you have to choose truth or dare, then choose your truth, it's all out. You're running fast with your head and nothing with the house now. And if you have to choose truth or dare, then choose your truth, it's all out. Said you wanted it all. Said you wanted it all. Said you wanted it all. This is how I feel, babe. Said you wanted it all. Said you wanted it all. Said you wanted it all. This is how I feel. I want to feel both out and free. I want to feel both out and free. Why did it take me so long to find out? Why did it take me so long to find out? You're running fast with your head. Said you wanted nothing with the house now. Said you wanted it all. You have to choose truth today. Said you wanted to choose your truth, it's all out. Said you wanted it running fast with your head. Said you wanted nothing with the house now. Said you wanted it all. You have to choose truth today. Said you wanted to choose your truth, it's all out. Said you wanted it all. 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 Said you wanted Said you wanted it all. Said you wanted it all. Said you wanted it all.
Any which way I go, I don't find patience on the map. How do I attain everything I want? Find a way to find peace where I'm at. Strung out on comparison, I can slip right through the cracks. Feel myself losing touch. Can I obtain what I attract? Let go what I'm attached to. It might not align with my rule. Dying while I'm reborn. That's a catch too. Everything a full loop. Hard not to get caught up in it. All I really want is soft linen. Live a life without tall limit. You know I can find a way to solve that. No regrets are in my past. Never really check a forecast. Depends on how you react. Give out love, it always comes back. All the envy, giving whiplash. Tend to be. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on myself. Tend to be. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on my. Tend to be. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on myself. Tend to be. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on myself. Little too hard on my.
In the end, I always come back to this. I always come back to this idea that, life is an experience and these feelings are temporary. So whenever I'm feeling down or sad or confused, I just realize and I take it in like,
I might not brace the form, I'm full of dirt and all. Get back up time, the ball, infinite tries and all. I might not brace the form, I'm full of dirt and all. Get back up time, the ball, infinite tries and all. I might not brace the form, I'm full of dirt and all. Get back up time, the ball, infinite tries and all. I might not brace the form, I'm full of dirt and all. Get back up time, the ball, infinite tries and all. I might not brace the form, I'm full of dirt and all. Get back up time, the ball, infinite tries and all. I might hard on myself, little too hard on myself, little too hard on myself. Tend to be, little too hard on myself, little too hard on myself, little too hard on my. Tend to be, little too hard on myself, little too hard on myself, little too hard on myself. Tend to be, little too hard on myself, little too hard on myself, little too hard on my.
One of the best things about this world is, you know, really being comfortable with yourself and who you are becoming, even though sometimes it can be like, damn, like, I want more for myself, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Stride along the
looking there at a magic moment for DVC volleyball. It has been a long, tough slog these last 5 years. A losing streak longer than anybody cares to remember or mention, but it is at long last at an end. The Vikings taking a straight set victory over Sacramento City to raise their record to 5-5 and pick up their first win in more than or nearly 5 years inside the Big Eight. They do so decisively. Nadia Novichkova, a big part of that. No surprises there. Currently number 10 in the state in assists per set. She had 30 of DVC's 36 assists. 3 aces and 14 digs to go with that. Sotirova, the one who took more advantage of Novichkova's work than anybody else with the 14 kills. Congratulations to Jackie Ponciano Babs women at long last off of that lengthy schneid, and we are happy to see it. That's the beginning of our Around the Horn coverage for today. We'll have more of that as we go along. That seems a little bit weirdly blank. Let's get that up there. There we go. We're just about ready for action here in the second half. It's cooled slightly. I'd say temperatures may be hovering around the low 90s to high 80s at this point as the players break their huddle. DVC in the white over black and white back out on the field already. LASPO in an all-black strip that has to feel like a miscalculation on a day like this, but that is what they wear at home. They are heading out there as well. It'll be DVC attacking left to right and going at the goal just in front of us, defended by Mia Lemus in the head-to-toe red strip. The referees taking their places right now. Russell Dryden at midfield. He, of course, along with the rest of his crew in the purple over black and black referee kit. Hannah Walden at the back goal to our left, and we are back underway here. We do need a small edit to our scoreboard, as it is indeed second half action as we get started again here, and that is now repaired. And DVC are now in possession. Diana Ruiz putting some pressure on. Ball's worked back to the LPC back line as it came loose in the midfield. Ashley Annis up the left side, looking for Houlihan, who spent most of her time on the near sideline in the first half, is again on the near sideline to start the second half, but that does mean a switch of sides in actuality to the left part of the attack. This ball forward is going to take one big hop at the edge of the 18-yard box, and I believe a foul whistled against DVC in the tangle, trying to win that ball with the head, and that's a very interesting position for Las Positas. It'll be Kendall Cornwell, scorer of 2 of the Hawks' 3 goals this season, to take it. Vikings putting the 4-woman wall into place. I'm sure Cornwell wondering if it is indeed far enough back. A signal coming here. It looks like a safe signal. I'm trying to figure out. That might well be a indirect free kick signaled by Russell Dryden. Either way, that would mean that you would not see an attempt to bend it over the wall without an initial touch first, and there is a player alongside Cornwell, now leaving. Annis was with her there, I thought maybe to make that first quick touch. DVC's wall about 2 yards into the penalty area, which would indicate we're looking at about a 26-yard free kick opportunity. Cornwell with the right foot will take this direct in the direction of Hannah Walden, and it is off the left side, hooked back in towards the 18 and into the 6, and a goal for Las Positas College. Looking for confirmation here, and much appreciated from Miles Hecht as we're trying to stare in there and spot the number. It is indeed Joanna Castillo, the number 10, scoring here in a minute. Number 47. DVC will immediately look to get in search of an opener. They avoided the late, very end of the first half goal that has characterized 2 of their 3 defeats so far. The only one they didn't have that happen with was the Cabrillo game that went to halftime 0-0, but it doesn't take long here in half number 2 for the Vikings to fall behind. Another free kick here on another DVC foul. Ball whipped over the left side. Diana Ruiz pops that up with the head. Held in by LPC and dropped back to Hallbeck. Tries to put that through Diana's legs. Diana stands tall. Has it worked off of her feet by Hallbeck and out for a throw. Foul count is now leveled up at 3 apiece. Corner kick count remains 2-1 in favor of LPC. Shots count evened up at 4s. The shots on goal now 3-2 in LPC's favor, and of course, most importantly, 1 in the back of the net off the head of Joanna Castillo. A cross from the left side might well have been Houlihan after that original shot. It did seem that Cornwell shot it. It was a little tough to spot from here. I think it may have hit the woodwork. Walden was looking to sort of shepherd that one. It appeared over the back line. I think it might have hit the woodwork and come back out and allow that opportunity for the cross. Got just enough of the post to direct it almost exactly sideways. Ball headed out at the far sideline. DVC in search of the reply. That'll mean Las Positas actually lead 5-4 in total shots. Doesn't go down as a shot on goal, which always seems funny to me when it actually did hit the goal. Ball cleared by Diana Ruiz from the edge of the 18-yard box. Miyazaki tried to slide that one into space for Singh. Here comes a hot shot across the 6-yard box, but that'll go over the back line. No further harm here. Goal kick to come for the green and white DVC. Everybody on the team wearing green tape. Fortuitous thing that the mental health awareness color happens to, well, you know, coordinate very nicely with the uniforms, but wearing that in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month, among other things, and in honor of awareness of mental health and mental health issues. DVC on the attack here. It's Diana Ruiz looking to work around Kylie Hallbeck. Does get past her briefly. Hallbeck will be forced to play that out in front of the DVC player bench. Throw in for the Vikings from their attacking third, right side of the DVC attack as they go left to right across your YouTube progress bar. It'll be Lopez Real to put it in. Ognian making a move for it. Sofia is going to try to go over the top of Hallbeck and finds Ruiz at the byline. Ruiz gets a touch to it. It's going to carry over the back line for a goal kick. Nearly did manage to get that to bank off of the 11, Allison Mitchell, but no dice. We hope you enjoyed your bit of local music, courtesy of Dave Hughes. Had a little bit of a world premiere there. At least we did on Monday. It was or Tuesday rather. It was a couple days after Dave had himself played it on the air. Orbit 17, a band I happen to enjoy quite a bit. Coming up from down Santa Barbara way. They're a phenomenal group. The ball's played over the right side here. Knocked down by Sierra Rosemont. We mentioned before wearing the captain's band. That the result of a ceremony that DVC are going to be doing, it looks like, for future games, as Casey Trujillo gets a ball and tries to loop this over the right side for Ruiz. Can she get there before it goes over the sideline? Not quite. The crown of the field takes it out. And Maila Hicks will enter at the next opportunity as she steps to the midfield stripe, but a throw in first for LPC. But with Lily Underwood unable to compete for the remainder of this 2024 season due to the ACL issue, a pregame ceremony just before they go out on the field to award the captain's armband to someone to carry her spirit out there. And who better today than the woman more or less taking her spot on the field as well, the center back, Sierra Rosemont, very vocal leader of this team. The Vikings claim a ball at the midfield stripe. Rubel forward for Singh, trying to loop this over the shoulder of Trujillo to the right side. Annis will clear. A little bit of a half bicycle to get it away from Casey. Diana Ruiz trying to hold it in play, and now the ball cleared by Las Positas, but to the feet of DiCioco. She'll roll that to Mickey. Finds Julia with a little bit of space. Nice job using the sole of her feet there for a moment to roll the ball into a bit more space. Now forward Trujillo, back to Ognian. Tries to go, but that's right back behind the run of Trujillo. Intercepted by Amaris Andrade. And LPC looked to spring. Cut off neatly there by Cristobal Rodas. Managed to body up Cornwell. It does come away to Andrade, who's now at the midfield stripe, far sideline at the moment. Her ball forward, cut off by the lean mean 13 in green. Rosemont puts that out for a throw. One of the other artists that you heard at halftime, Emily Afton, actually will be performing 2 days before DVC's next game. So I'll get it out right now over at Todos Santos Plaza, Sunday, October 6th, for some music and art in the park over at Todos Santos. And I'll be at that. I'm coming out to see that. I like that artist, as well as another group called The Session that's going to be playing then. So come on by, tell them Joe sent you. Here's a ball in, that's right to the hands of Hannah Walden from a good 35 yards away. A real rip off the boot from Kendall Cornwell as she looked to feed someone inside the 6. Walden's drop kick comes to the body of Julia Ognian for a moment, headed forward now by Hallbeck. Houlihan, drop back to Cornwell. Good little stab with the left foot by Miyazaki to take the ball away. And now there's some space where Cornwell usually would be. Up ahead for Singh. She hits the brakes. Hallbeck pokes it away. That's going to go out for a throw in for DVC, though. At the far sideline, that'll give the Vikings the chance to make that substitution. Maila Hicks entering for the Vikes. She'll take off Diana Ruiz. Singh and Trujillo have been your starting forwards and your forward line the entire match so far. This will displace Ognian over to the right side. Miyazaki on the left. Hicks the back of the diamond, and Ella DeChoco back to the front of it. Hicks takes the ball, defends from the arrival of Hallbeck, forward for Ognian, who nearly does cut off the arrival of Kaylee Mata. At least made it challenging. Now Mata, one touch into the defense for Annis, back to Mata. Up ahead now for Houlihan, and she had drifted into an offside position. Flag up from Sonny Teo. And a free kick to come here for the green and white. Of course, as always, during second half action, we give you a little bit of around the horn coverage. We already told you about volleyball. The other action taking place in between our last broadcast and this one was water polo. DVC's men and women had a tough day at the office in Rockland. Hat trick for Sophia Goodson and a goal and an assist for Alenea Loera, along with 2 assists for Chloe Pappas. But that accounts for just about all the goals right there. Just 5 put in the back of the net in that match. For the Vikings to Sierra's 17. The game between the men's teams a bit more competitive, as the throw-in comes to the body of Ella DeChoco, cannot quite keep it in under the pressure of Mata. But the men's game was 10-10 going into the fourth quarter. Thomas Colpo and Ashton Culpepper with hat tricks, and Ruairi Murphy, in the midst of a shooting gallery, managed to save 15 of the 27 shots directed his way. Just not quite enough to get the victory for the green and white, but at long last they will be coming home. DVC water polo will be in the home pool next Wednesday for their opener against American River College in search of those first conference victories. LPC on the ball, about to put in a throw-in from the left side of the midfield. Kaylee Mata about to take it. Looking towards the left edge of the box. Good turn by the goal scorer Castillo, but did well to shield, but the ball a little too hot. Out comes Walden. She's got it. Not a whole lot more action in DVC athletics left this week. All that remains so far for week 5 of the semester. We'll wait on just that for just a moment as Andrade has the ball, leaves that to the feet of a teammate. Snatching at it as it came back off of a half clearance. Popped up in the air. Now DVC take it away. Here's Ognian up ahead for Trujillo. Trujillo near the sideline, pinned there by the 11 Mitchell. Ahead for Mata. Now to Castillo. Castillo out to the left side. Mitchell way up the field from her center back position. Sliding challenge. Will take that away by Callista Rubel. Ball stays in play. Both of them needed time to get back to their feet. Clearance is only as far as Mata. She will take a rip from about 20 yards, but that's going to go well wide of the goal. Goal kick for the green and white as we approach the end of the first quarter of an hour of this second half. Only things remaining for DVC Athletics this week, cross country, who made the decision to only go to the Twilight Invitational up in Santa Rosa, and considering the alternative was an afternoon in Modesto with the way the heat has been, that sounds like the right choice to me. Only other game left will be DVC football on the road at Sacramento City, that on Saturday. LPC controlling the ball in the midfield. Up ahead and cleared by Sofia Lopez Real to the midfield stripe. Bit of a mishit from Anis, but she will bring it down. Forward now for Houlihan, who dribbles her way around. Sofia Lopez Real now hits the deck under the challenge of Rubel. We've got a foul at the very edge of the 18-yard box, but not a penalty kick. She got sandwiched in there between Rubel, Lopez Real, and perhaps Ognian as well. So another free kick opportunity. The last one led to Las Positas' opener. It is legitimately about a foot behind the top left corner of the box. Anis and Cornwell over it. Anis appears to be the lefty, Cornwell the righty. DVC with 8 in the wall. Seen a lot of action down at this end. Whistle has blown. Cornwell hits this one, trying to loop it over the top and under the crossbar, and does not manage to do so. Out the back with no further event, and a goal kick. DVC will make the substitution as Carla Esquivias comes into the game. She'll take off Julia Ognian. Calista Rubel, who missed a trio of games coinciding with the end of the Vikings' season-starting winning streak. DVC took the first 3 matches of the season without conceding a goal until they were already up 3-0 against Chabot in match number 3. 6-0 over the Mountain Lions of De Anza, 8-0 over Woodland. Since then, they've fallen 1-0, 4-1, 8-1, and had a pair of 1-1 draws. Trujillo locked in a battle with Anis, and she'll commit a foul trying to get back onto it after Anis had gained position. 5 Viking fouls to 3 by LPC. Hawks have not committed one since halftime. Hicks manages to take that free kick though. Singh, one touch, will drop it back to the feet of Carla Esquivias. Forward for DeChoco, one touch looking for Trujillo. Again, Anis comes up and claims. A crowd of Vikings and Hawks arrive, and it's going to be DeChoco coming away with it. Touches that around the arrival of Hallbeck. Splits 2 defenders, finds Casey. Trujillo still in the 6 and cleared from her feet by Coble. Had a chance for a moment there, but couldn't quite get her balance. She was almost running sideways as that ball came to her. By the time she'd gotten herself squared up, there were now 2 LPC defenders crashing in on her. DVC maintained possession. Throw in from the right side. Lopez Real trying to find the run of DeChoco. That one's cleared straight back out where it came from. Miyazaki in the vicinity of Lopez Real at the moment. Trujillo showing for the ball. She'll take that to the body. Leaves it again for Sofia. Tries a cross towards the top of the 18. DeChoco pops it up. Esquivias keeps it alive. Ella forced to backtrack by Castillo. Comes back to Rodas. Up the left side for Esquivias. Big first touch, but she manages to domesticate it. Out wide to the left side. Hicks, hard cross, but it's out the back without a touch. Goal kick. We mentioned DVC football earlier. They'll be in action on Saturday at 1 p.m. against Sac City. Their next 2 games are on the road, and they don't play again at home until the 18th of October, even later than DVC as it works out. As Las Positas look to get out to a run, mismanaged at the back by the Vikings, and off to the run is the number 2, Daisy De La Torre, and she's made it 2. De La Torre fed on a jailbreak from the midfield stripe. And in minute number 64, Las Positas have looked to follow the same script as 3 days ago against Feather River. Vikings will look to rebuild, but it seems a long way up from here. It's been a little bit since they've scored more than a single goal in a game. We were telling you about that 3-game winning streak to start the season, but since then, admittedly with just 12 healthy players and only that for 20 minutes, the Vikings were unable to get across the goal line against Cabrillo. Since then, it's been a single goal in every match. Authentic goal de la Bañera in the 86th minute against Skyline after they were already down 4-0. The opener against Cañada, which eventually was equalized in the second half. The equalizer late against Butte a week ago today. And the goal by Suhani Singh when the match was already 6-0 just 3 days ago on the road in Saratoga. Miki Miyazaki with the ball on her foot right now. DVC have had a decent little spell of possession after giving up the goal, but right as I say it, it's taken away by Mata and ladled up the left sideline for Houlihan. Rubel in pursuit. Houlihan is going to beat her to get inside the box, but that's going to slow her up just enough for Rosemont to clear from in front of her. Throw in to come for LPC. Call coming at Trujillo is going to need a moment here, and we might see a sub. Additionally, within 2 minutes or so, we may well see a drinks break. We are roughly at the halfway point of half number 2. First half well contested by both sides. Neither team able to break through. 2 saves per team. Walden with two toughies. Lemus with a toughie and a relatively easy one. Vikings had the best look at a goal in the first half, but it's been all LPC for the last 20 minutes. Vikings off to a run now. It's Esquivias up ahead looking for Suhani Singh. Comes to a stop and loses possession of the ball. In battle with Mitchell. Stands tall. Retains the ball here about 30 yards from goal. Worked forward in the direction of Trujillo, who had drifted offside. Miles Hecht with the flag up. She had tried to tuck back in and get herself back in position, but did so just a hair too late. Ninkovic and Ognian waiting to re-enter the fray for the green and white. Trujillo says she's going to need a moment. We'll see if that moment ends up being the drinks break. Miyazaki brings down the goal kick, or the free kick rather, after the offside from Mia Lemus. Ball ahead for Singh, trying to get turned around the arrival of Mitchell. She has been imperious back there so far today. DeChoco touches that off of Mata. That's going to be a Viking throw-in a moment, but a drinks break signaled instead for the time being. Oh, or perhaps just the substitutions. Never mind. I saw him point toward the center of the sideline. I thought that was the signal for a drinks break. Trujillo and Lopez Real off. Ninkovic in place of Trujillo, or rather Lopez Real as the right back. And Julia Ognian into place as Trujillo's replacement, as a ball is ripped forward right off the head of Kylie Hallbeck. The referee stops play to check on the number 4 in black. And they will now take the water break to allow time for the training staff to run the usual diagnostics on somebody that just took a blow to the head. That was a rip off the boot of Ella DeChoco that was blocked at close range. And we'll take the opportunity to show you what's coming up next week in Vikings athletics, since there will be nothing going on here with the ball rolling across this field. DVC soccer will be idle. However, other teams very much in action. Men's and women's water polo, as we've been telling you, will have their first home dates of the season, 3:30 and 5 p.m. respectively on Wednesday. That will be accompanied by Cosumnes River at the gym, tipping off as they face off with CRC. They take their bye today in conference, and so they'll be in action Wednesday and then again on Thursday at 6 p.m. on the road at Modesto. Women's water polo after their matchup with ARC, will compete in the Delta tournament Friday and Saturday next week. And football, we already told you about their game on Sunday against Sacramento City. They'll be at Shasta at 6 p.m. on Saturday, October 5th, before coming home after a bye week to start basics play against San Mateo. Cross country, meanwhile, we told you they are the last thing happening today in Vikings land. They'll be at the Kyle Robinson Twilight Invitational up at Santa Rosa. They compete at the Toro Park Invitational, which is doubling as the NorCal Preview. That's where they'll be hosting the Northern California Championships later on in November. But they'll be at the preview of that Toro Park Invitational on Friday next week. And of course, DVC Soccer will be back at it on October 8th. Remind you what that calendar looks like for DVC Soccer. After a week off, they'll be facing off with ARC and Modesto on the road on the 8th and 11th. And they're back on the home green grass to face off with Delta on the 15th. Usual kickoff time for Big 8 matches is 3:30 p.m. And we'll just assume that's the case unless I tell you otherwise going forward here in the 2024 season. Teams coming back out for the final 20 minutes, plus whatever gets added back on, likely 2 minutes or thereabouts for this drinks break. I am going to indulge in said drinks break because I've been talking the whole time. And I'm going to hope that as our ladies head back out there, they're going to give me a little something to scream about over the course of the next 20 minutes. Las Positas was the first team that really gave the state finalist Vikings back in 2016 some friction. It's kind of weird. I was looking back at the series between these two sides since I arrived, and the Las Positas record this season of 2-4-1 doubles as the record in this series since I showed up back in 2014. But all three DVC positive results, the one draw they had and the two victories, all came in about a 14-month span. And they were actually the first 3 LPC DVC matches I ever attended, because I missed the loss in 2014. I was off playing some music with a band I was in at the time. Vikings come away with the ball after the restart, and it's Julia Ognian doing battle with Kobel. She's reflected, ball put into space for Esquivias and pushed away by LPC. Rubel coming up to try to close down the attacker De La Torre. Didn't do so initially, but De La Torre's pass was loose. Vikings with the ball now. Miyazaki after a touch from DeChoco trying to put this one over the top into space for Esquivias. Ognian in that area as well. The ball touched out over the back line, and it's going to be a goal kick. Nothing doing. And it does look like after the concussion check that Kylie Hallbeck will re-enter the action. She takes off Amaris Andrade. The last 3 positive results for the Vikings, a 1-1 draw at home in 2015 in the home opener, and then in 2016, a pyrotechnic 3-2 victory here at Las Positas, and then DVC with their most resounding result of this rivalry, a 4-0 victory in the playoffs. I still have happy memories of that first result in 2016, one of the first times we knew we had us a team. Ball forward for Suhani Singh, but the flag is up from Miles Hecht. That'll bring that attack to an immediate end, as Esquivias had tried to feed her from the left side of the midfield. Just a little bit past the back line of the Hawks. Ball forward by LPC, intercepted by Miyazaki. Hicks into the center circle for Esquivias. Forward, one touch, right back to Carol from Julia. Tries to put it out wide to the right side. She was knocked to ground as she did so by Hallbeck, and that will be the first foul whistled against LPC in this second half. 5-4 DVC with more of those. It's the only thing they've got more of. LPC have outshot them 6-4 and 4-2 on frame. They have 2 of the 3 corner kicks so far, and of course the 2 goals on the board. Castillo in the 48th, De La Torre in the 64th. Vikings looking to get one back and make the last quarter of an hour here from Livermore spicy. It'll be Callista Rubel from 40 yards away. She fires a ball in. That's going to be on a couple of hops to Lemus. And she dives on that like a live grenade as Maila Hicks was crashing in. Long ball from Lemus. That's off the head of Rubel, but it goes directly backwards. Houlihan onto it. Ninkovic trying to frustrate her, and it's going to be the touch of the newly minted captain, Sierra Rosemont, that denies her. Cornwell comes away with it, tries to beat a Viking on the dribble. Miyazaki takes it away for a moment, but only as far as Hallback at the midfield stripe. Annis now into the left side for the 22, Hassan. Little too much spice on that, and it'll go over the back line for a Viking goal kick. Cross country will remind you they are in action tonight at the Santa Rosa Kyle Robinson Twilight Invitational, but coming off a team finish of second for the women and third for the men at the George Brooks Memorial, which doubled as the Big 8 preview. Victoria Fung, 6th place, just a shade over 20 minutes for her 3-mile. Ian Knutson, just a shade over 23 for his 4-mile. He finished 9th as the top individual finishers for the green and white. In that, keep a look on directathletics.com to get more information on meets as they happen this season. Coming together as Kendall Cornwell was on her way in. Rosemont threw her whole body into that challenge, and Russell Dryden says, I'm all right with that. Long ball laid back over the right side is going to go straight over the back line from LPC. Goal kick Vikings. Sierra Rosemont, a player that was out all of the spring with a knee injury. Was a little rusty and learning to trust the knee at the start of the season. I don't think there's any issue with her trusting her body right now, the way she throws it around. Here's a shot from distance from LPC, well wide of Hannah Walden's goal. That'll go down as a 7th Hawk shot. Rosemont, somebody who knows her body well and is working to know the bodies of other athletes very well. She's wants to be a trainer in the NFL. That's her goal. Currently working in DVC's athletic training program alongside the likes of Bree Minor, Mike Chizar before that. Prizes her work rate and her tenacity, and we've seen them both on display here as DVC try to keep this within touching distance, trailing 2-0 in minute number 77. Julia Ognian blocked off, turns to the official, and Mr. Dryden obliges and says that was not a play on the ball. She just threw her body at me. LPC coaching staff clearly unthrilled by that choice. It'll be Rubel to put in this free kick, drifting in towards the 18, met authoritatively with the head of the 11, Mitchell. DeChoco trying to make things difficult for Cornwell, but she cuts around the arrival of the 23 in white. Finds Hassan on the dribble to the left side, loses her footing as Ninkovic gets to her. Ball out for a throw. Vikings looking for a substitution, and so Ninkovic was a little too quick with the restart. It'll be Sofia Lopez Real and Casey Trujillo re-entering for the Vikings. It'll be Mila and Maila who come off. It does look like Lopez Real will be pressing forward. Vikings might be working some manner of formation change as the throw-in comes right to the head of Ashley Annis in battle with Miki Miyazaki, and Miki got a arm up on the back of the LPC defender. That'll be a free kick on the Vikings' 6th foul of the game, taken quickly from just behind the midfield strike by Annis. Back to Coble, who along with Mitchell, Mata, and Annis make up the back line for Andy Cumbo's Hawks. They have been tough to break down so far today. Ball forward and a shot into the back of the net. That comes from almost nothing. A ball labeled up the right side. hoofed into the back of the net. By the same score of the first goal in today's game. As we were waiting for the call here, the red numbers on black without any outline are a little tricky to see at a distance. And in minute number 78, the substance is that LPC now lead 3-0. It's a long ball bouncing up on the right side, and Castillo got one good touch to both domesticate it and dust two DVC defenders, and then took a rip across Hannah Walden to the far post. It was very slightly unsighted over here by a crowd of midfielders and a referee. Makes it challenging. But it does appear that DVC are going to fall to a fourth consecutive defeat, barring a miracle of the final 11 minutes here. Mila Ninkovic looks like she will be put right back into the match in a moment. And a whopping 4 substitutes being prepared by Andy Cumbo. Korsak, Tamaya, Canas, and it would appear the backup goalkeeper, Amy Ledesma. Ball forward here for LPC on the foot of Cornwell. She's going to take a rip from distance, and that one's just wide. An absolute terrifying looper from about 35 yards. It looked for a moment like it might tuck itself in at the top left corner. Ledesma enters the match. She has 2 starts under her belt. Neither of them went terribly well, as the team fell to a 4-0 loss against Folsom Lake and a 9-0 loss against Chaffee, but those are 2 very difficult adversaries there, so likely a tough day at the office for the defense, every bit as much as it would be for a keeper. She takes off Lemus. The other substitutes come in for the Vikings. It is Ninkovic into the match. Ball popped up by Mata, who's now playing further back. She throws her body into Ninkovic, and the whistle there, I don't know if that's for a foul or if it's just because Ninkovic went down in a heap after absorbing that. Certainly a hard charge, a little too far away for me to have any opinion about whether it was fair or not, but not a fun moment for Ninkovic. She's back to her feet, though. Checked on by Suhani Singh. It is indeed a foul, 6th of the game against the Hawks, taken by the Vikings from just behind the midfield stripe, and unable to bring it under control was Ninkovic. Reflected back towards Sierra. Step around to try to get past Canas. Does manage to keep the ball in play as she had to slide and knock it back to her teammate in the back line, Rodas. Now taken away at the midfield stripe, and Las Positas trying to get off to a run. Tamaya. Drop back, and Ognian trying to close. Now worked over to the left side. Entering the 18 is Hassan. Dribbles it through the arrival of DeChoco, and she'll make it 4. A battle-hardened first half played to parity, in which the Vikings had the best shout at scoring the opener, has devolved into a 4-goal second half. And for the second time this week, DVC just don't seem to be able to shut the goal faucet off in the second 45 minutes. Miyazaki maintains the ball in possession. Up ahead here for Gabo Tamaya, who absorbs contact from behind. Rubel shouts back and gets in a bit of a tangle with Tamaya, and look out here. She's gotten a little bit hot. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that she didn't get a yellow, and the immediate call from Coach Colleen Mullins is, can I get her off? The collision was not a problem. Fouls happen, but the response to it from Rubel. The sort of thing that can get you in a bit of trouble. And then as she was walking past the player, got her leg tangled up with Tamaya's arm. Lucky to escape a yellow. Here's a ball in towards the 6-yard box. One big hop from Hallbeck's free kick, and it'll come to Hannah Walden before anybody else in black can get a touch. Walden punts this one deep. Outside of the boot, Trujillo tries to feed Singh on the left side. Nothing doing. Ognian tracking back. She'll cut off the arrival of a defender. Now goes into a slide challenge to maintain possession and still has the ball. Sprays this to Miyazaki. Knocks it down in the center circle. Miyazaki over the shoulder of Trujillo. She's onside, but she will be cut off by Coble before she can get onto the ball. Trujillo, though, after a heavy touch from Coble, takes it back at the far sideline. Now loops the ball in towards the 18. Brought down with the chest of Lopez Real, and she's offside. Free kick from the penalty dot for Las Positas College inside their own 18. That's work to the left side for Ashley Annis in battle with Sofia Lopez Real, and the Vikings need to make sure they don't let this get overly chippy and let the frustration boil over. Rubel comes off for Maila Hicks. It'll be a DVC throw in from the midfield stripe. Mr. Dryden gives a signal. Here comes Hicks with a jump into the direction of Trujillo. Heads that back for Lopez Real, trying to put that over the side of a defender for Suhani Singh. A little too long. Clearance mostly has air time, not so much distance. Ball cleared. The flag goes up for a handball against Julia Ognian. Final 5 minutes of action here from Livermore today. DVC will have a long break to try to figure out what has been ailing them these last couple of days. Getting knocked around by West Valley, that was obviously not ideal, but also a little bit predictable given the quality of that side. They just come off of beating Modesto Junior College. They've challenged themselves 2 matches against really tough adversaries right from the get-go. Vikings, we mentioned in the broadcast, were only the second non-playoff team that they had faced. This LPC team looking to gel, and today I think has gone a long way for that. They brought back only their starting goalkeeper, Lemus, who made a fantastic stop on the Vikings' only threatening shot on goal today, back toward the end of the first half. But she and Kendall Cornwell were the only returning players that started consistently last year. Annis, Corsac, Pena Webb, who we haven't seen, and Mata, the only other returning sophomores for the team. But for all the difficulty they had in their tough record, as the ball's cleared over the top by LPC, Rosemont chases it down against Tina Canas. They're locked in a tangle. Canas is going to win out, tries to slide this to the feet of Tamaya. It's going to be a long run for her towards the far side, or near sideline rather, left side of LPC's attack to get it, but she does. Suzanne Hassan battling with Miyazaki and earns a throw-in. They had drawn Los Medanos. They had gotten a win by forfeit against Yuba. 3 of those losses had come to Folsom and Lake Tahoe. Those are some pretty tough teams. One of the others had come to Cosumnes River. And if you're the Vikings, you were just getting a bit of a happy thought about maybe CRC is going to be on the level with you as they struggled with Cañada, a team that the Vikings drew last week. This, however, looks a bit worse as the ball's in and it's touched over the back or over the goal line for a 5th goal. That one by Kylie Hallbeck, who has been working her tail off all day in the midfield. And she will get a little gift here at the end. And it is 5-0 here as the scoreboard clock will be stopping in moments here for the final 2 minutes. And we will wait for the sweet release of Russell Dryden's whistle to bring today's encounter to a close. Ball on the foot of Sierra Rosemont. Tina Kanas attacking hard. Suhani Singh off the heel of Julia Ognian as she tried to spring her up the middle, just barely miscalibrated that pass. Ball batted up out in the midfield, but considering that CRC had very little difficulty with this team, gave up just the one goal and won that match 4-1 if I recall correctly. That comparison won't look nearly as favorable. And for the Vikings, they've got to figure out which team are they. The one that played these 2 games this week or the one that was so good in Pleasant Hill, troubling Deanna Marshbanks repeatedly in the match against Butte, to the point where without that kind of insane goalkeeper performance, Vikings would have won that match by 3. Frustrated a Cañada team to the point that we heard a remarkable rant from their coach following DVC holding them to a 1-1 draw. Casey Trujillo on the right side. Vikings looking to avoid the goose egg. That's just across Singh, and I think that the newly inserted keeper Ledesma got just enough of a touch to put Suhani off. Trujillo looking for Suhani at the left edge of the 6-yard box. Wound up a little behind Singh. He's got 10 goals on this season already, including the 1 goal the Vikings recorded against West Valley. They've got an offense that can do damage, but too many loose giveaways. Struggling to hold on to possession against tougher adversaries the way they did at the beginning of the season. Rosemont being attacked again by Canas. She'll get the ball off of her feet. Mata cranks that one into the greenery surrounding the field. Throw in for the Vikes. Some soul searching absolutely in the offing as the throw in is repelled by LPC and looks like it will roll all the way across the back line. Goal kick to come in a moment. And then last rites for today's match in all likelihood. This goal kick is straight to the chest of Kaylee Mata, rather the 10, Joanna Castillo, on a hat trick. She takes a rip from distance. That's a good 10 feet wide and high of Hannah Walden's goal, but almost nothing would surprise you the way this week has gone for the green and white. They'll take the goal kick again. Off the boot of Maila Hicks, again to Joanna Castillo. Again, she takes a shot from distance, and again, it's well wide. Further away than the last one as she laughs a bit to herself. Just a little bit of stat chasing in the late going here. Vikings will put another free kick out here. Of course, going a little bit longer. The hydration break earlier, meaning that even when the clock here stops at 2 minutes, there's in fact about 4 left. Haven't seen a signal for time remaining just yet from any of Russell Dryden's crew. Vikings take a ball back. There's all the signal you need. That's the triple whistle. And it comes to an end here. Your final score, DVC fall to a 5-0 defeat. That was a scoreless draw, scoreless stalemate at the halftime break. Castillo with the opener in the 48th. And from that point forward, it was a procession. 64th minute, De La Torre got off on a breakaway to make it 2-0. And when Castillo got her second, off the developments of a free kick in the 78th, they came fast and furious. Hassan in the 82nd, Hallbeck in the 85th, and that's all she wrote. As we said, some soul searching in the offing and a lengthy break. DVC will not take the field again until October the 8th. And we'll give you again the lowdown on what is coming up in DVC Vikings soccer in the next the next handful of games here. It'll be DVC ARC from Sacramento on Tuesday, October 8th to open Big 8 play. 3:30 kickoff, and at least tentatively, the plan is for me to join ARC's Mark Lowe on the YouTube stream run by the Beavers Athletics Department. Following that, Vikings will be on the road at Modesto. If we're able to get a radio live stream going, we'll have one here on DVC Vikings Live Radio. That will be again Friday, October 11th, 2 weeks from today. And then, of course, back on the home grass when DVC will take on San Joaquin Delta on Tuesday, October 15th. 3:30 the kickoff as well. Video live stream here on the DVC Athletics YouTube page. That's all we've got for you here today. For everybody that makes DVC Vikings Live Radio possible, this is Joe Hickey wishing you dreams of green. We will see you next time.